Hi guys, good day. This is Teacher MJ, and our topic for today it's all about solving quadratic equation by subtracting the square root, and then later on we will find the roots. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So once again, we can only apply the subtracting the square root if we don't have the value of the linear term. So this is the general equation of the quadratic equation. That would be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This is the general form of quadratic equation. Now, if you don't have the value of your linear term, you only have the quadratic term and the constant. So you can apply the subtracting of square root. Alright, so this will be the equation of subtracting the square root. So we have x squared equals c. So therefore, we put the constant on the right side. So x squared equals c. We put the constant on the right side of this equal sign. And then once we get the square root, okay, our answer will be positive, then negative. Then the value of this square root. So let's try number 1 to formally understand subtracting the square root. So for number 1, x squared minus 9 equals 0. So once again, we transpose 9 from left to right. So transpose 9 from left to right, this will be x squared. Once you transpose an equation or you transfer an equation from this equal sign, you always change the sign. So this is negative, it will be positive. And then you get the square root. Okay, subtract square root. So cancel x squared. So cancel square. So the remaining will be x. And then the square root of 9, that's positive negative 3. So once again, to get the square root of 9, you think of a number that when you multiply it by itself, you will get 9. Of course, there would be 3 times 3. So the square root of 9 is 3. So your x sub 1, so you have two answers, positive and negative 3. So x sub 1 is positive 3 and x sub 2 is negative 3. So that's it, class. Easy for number 1, right? So our roots will be x sub 1 is positive 3 and the other one, x sub 2, is negative 3. Alright, let's try number 2. So for number 2, class, the c, the constant, is already on the right side of the equal sign. No need to transpose 25. So simply copy x squared equals 25. And then you get the square root. Okay, subtract square root both sides so that you can cancel this out. So the square root of x squared is x. And the square root of 25, you think of a number that when you multiply it by itself, you get 25. Of course, there would be 5. So you put positive, then negative. Alright, so your x sub 1 is positive 5 and your x sub 2 is negative 5. That's your answer, class. So x sub 1 equals 5 and x sub 2 equals negative 5. Now, if the teacher will ask you to check your answer, you can actually do it. So x sub 1 positive 5 from this equation. If you want to substitute, find the value of, substitute the value of x. Your x sub 1 is 5. If your x is positive 5, so 5 squared equals 25. 5 times 5 is 25 equals 25. So check. Okay, so that's how you check. Let's just simply substitute. Let's try number 1. So let's check. X squared minus 9 equals 0. If your x is negative 3, so let's substitute, class, number 1. Because there are some teachers that they will advise you to check your answer. They want you to check your answer. So if you want to check your answer, simply substitute the value of your x. This one, class, you can have positive 3 or negative 3. You will get the same answer, okay? You will get the same answer that the left equation is equal to the right equation. So let's have negative 3. So negative 3 squared minus 9 equals 0. So negative 3 squared, it means negative 3 times negative 3, there will be positive 9 minus 9 equals 0. So 9 minus 9 is 0 equals 0. If the left equation is equal to the right equation, therefore, your answer for the roots is correct, negative 3. Alright, so that's how you check this. Just simply substitute. So let's try number 3. So x squared minus 44 equals 1. So once again, transpose 44 from left to right. So this is negative, it will be positive. So this will be x squared equals 1 plus 44. So this is negative, it will be positive 44. So this will be x squared equals 1 plus 44, that's 45. So check, do we have the square root of 45? Okay, once again, we extract square root both sides. So cancel this out. So this will be x squared equals the square root of 45. Do we have the square root of 45? So what are the perfect squares? Of course, we have 1, we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and so on, right? 81, and so on. So these are the perfect squares. So 64, and so on. Of course, for 1, what is 1 times 1? 4, that's 2 times 2. 3, 9, that's 3 times 3. 16, 4 times 4, 25, 5 times 5. 36, 6 times 6, 49, 7 times 7, 64, that's 8 times 8. And many more. So for 45 class, since we don't have 45 for the perfect square, so once again, we call these numbers 1, 4, 9, 68, 25, and so on. We call it perfect squares because when we get the square root of these particular numbers, we will get a whole number answer. So for 45, since we don't have 45, okay, check class, we don't have 45 on the perfect squares. So the thing that you will do, class, you find a number. One number is a perfect square, the other is not. That when you multiply the two numbers, you will get 45. Okay? So you find factors of 45 that one number is a perfect square, the other is not. Okay, what are the factors of 45? Of course, for 45, that would be 1 times 45. Okay, and then 5 times 9, right? These are the factors of 45. So one number should be a perfect square, the other is not. So we will be selecting 5 and 9 because 9 is a perfect square. Okay, that's how you simplify, class. So it would be, for 45, that would be 9 times 5. Okay, because you need to simplify this radical. So 9 times 5. So one number is a perfect square, the other is not. So 5 is not a perfect square, but 9 is a perfect square. Okay, so one number is a perfect square, the other is not. That when you multiply the two numbers, you will get 45. So this will be, okay, we cancel x squared, so this will be cancelled. So x equals, so the square root of 9, you put it outside. So the square root of 9 is 3. And the square root of 5, we don't have square root of 5, so simply copy. And then you put positive and negative. This will be your answer, class. Alright, so your answer is x sub 1. Alright, so x sub 1 will be positive, you can just write 3 square root of 5. And your x sub 2, that would be negative 3 square root of 5. Alright, so that's it for number 3. So let's try number 4. So for number 4, class, so you copy the equation 3x squared minus 147 equals 0. First, you transpose 147 from left to right. So this will be 3x squared equals positive 147. Now, we need to have, once again, class, in this equation, check the equation, class, the number before x, it should be 1 for us to get the square root. So the number for x, it should be 1. So the thing that we will do is we need to divide this 1 by 3. So divide it by 3. So we need to divide it by 3 so that we can follow this equation that the number before x, okay, the number before x, it should be 1. Okay, so this will be divided by 3. So cancel this out, and then 147 divided by 3. 147 divided by 3. Once again, we divide this equation because the number before x squared, it should be 1. So that when we get the square root, we can just simply cancel the square. Alright, so 147 divided by 3, this will be 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract 14 minus 12 is 2. Bring down 7. So 27 divided by 3, that's 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Subtract, this is 0. So 49. Alright, so this will be x squared equals 49. Then you extract square root both sides. So cancel this out. So our x equals positive negative 7. Square root of 49 plus is 7 because 7 times 7 is 49. Alright, so this will be our answer. So x sub 1, we have the first equation is positive 7 and x sub 2 is negative 7. Alright, so let's try number 5. So 9b squared equals, minus 100 equals 0. So transpose 100 from left to right, it will change the sign. So this will be 9b squared equals 100, positive 100. Then divide by 9 so that the remaining equation will be only b squared. So divide by 9. So we have b squared equals 100 over 9. So extract square root both sides. Cancel this out. So this will be b equals, the square root of 100 class is 10 because 10 times 10 is 100. So once again, we put positive then negative. Square root of 100 is 10. So we put 10. Square root of 9 is 3. So our answer is 10 over 3. Positive, negative, 10 over 3. Once again, get the square root of 100, which is 10. Get the square root of 9, which is 3. Alright, so once again, 100 divided by 9. Since we cannot divide this one, okay, 100 divided by 9, we get a decimal answer. So we're not allowed to have a decimal answer for this one. So just simply copy. We cannot reduce this one. If we can reduce, you can reduce. But since we cannot reduce this one, so this will be 100 over 9. Simply copy and you get the square root. So your final answer is this one. So this will be x sub 1, or sorry, b sub 1. Alright, since we have b, so b sub 1 is positive 10 over 3. And our b sub 2, that would be negative 10 over 3. Alright, so easy for extracting the square root, right? So let's try number 6. And you try this one class, number 7. You try to answer number 7 and you put your answer on the comment section down below. Alright, so number 6, this will be x minus 3 squared equals 16. So check, the constant is already on the right side of this equal sign. So the thing that we will do is we need to extract square root both sides. Alright, so this will be, cancel this out. Squared and the square root. So this will be x minus 3 equals square root of 16. That's positive negative 4. And then we equate this one. So this will be x minus 3 equals, let's start with positive 4. And then x minus 3 then negative equals negative 4. So we equate x minus 3, then first is positive 4. Then x minus 3, then second will be negative 4. You transpose negative 3. From left to right, this will be x equals 4. This is positive, it will be, this is negative, it will be positive 3. So x sub 1, okay, your x sub 1 is equals to 4 plus 3, that would be 7. So this will be x equals, copy negative 4, transpose 3, negative 3 from left to right. Since this is negative, it will be positive 3. So x sub 2 equals, alright, x sub 2 equals negative 4 plus 3, that's negative 1. If the signs are not the same, subtract, then copy the sign of the larger absolute value, which is 1. So negative 1, which is negative 1. Signs are not the same, subtract, then copy the sign of the larger number. So this will be our answer. X equals 7 and x equals negative 1. So x sub 1 equals 7 and x sub 2 equals negative 1. So you try to answer class number 7 and you put your answer in the comments section down below. So I think you can answer this one easily by extracting the square root. Alright, so that's it for now. Once again, if you like this video, do not forget to subscribe. You share it to your friends' class and to your classmates so that we can help the others. Once again, this is Teacher MJ. Do not forget to answer this one. And you have a great day. Bye-bye.